Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me here. It is always an honor to stand in front of so many bright, passionate souls. Today, I want to talk about something that is deeply personal. Something that many of us, no matter where we come from, what we do, experience at some point in life. Love. And more importantly, self-worth in love. Let me begin by saying this. Don't beg for love. Learn to walk away. Sounds simple, right? But it's not. I know it's not. Because I've been there too. When we love someone, we give. We give time, we give trust, we give our heart. Sometimes we give so much that we forget we were whole before we even met them. And then one day, when that love starts to feel one-sided, when your calls are unanswered, when your texts are ignored, when your presence feels like an obligation, you start to question yourself. Am I not enough? What more can I do? Why am I not loved the way I love? Sound familiar? I want to tell you today, stop. Stop questioning your worth. Stop shrinking yourself. Stop begging for love that is not freely given. Because love, real love, does not need to be begged for. It does not make you feel small. It does not leave you in the shadows. But why do we stay? Because we're afraid. Afraid of being alone, afraid of starting over, afraid of losing the idea of love. But here's the truth. Being alone is better than being with someone who makes you feel lonely. I'll say that again. Being alone is better than being with someone who makes you feel lonely. I've had moments in my life where I thought I needed someone to validate me, to tell me I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm enough. But here's the thing, that validation, that power, was mine all along. It's yours too. When you beg for love, you're giving that power away. You're putting your happiness in someone else's hands. Why would you do that? You are the architect of your joy. You are the writer of your story. You are the source of your light. If someone cannot see your worth, it's not your job to convince them. It's not your job to prove your love. Your only job is to love yourself enough to walk away. Walk away from disrespect. Walk away from manipulation. Walk away from empty promises. Walk away from emotional games. Walk away from people who only love you when it's convenient. I know, walking away is hard. It's painful, it's lonely, it's scary. But it's also freeing. It's empowering. It's life-changing. When you walk away from what diminishes you, you make room for what uplifts you. You open the door for the love you truly deserve. A love that doesn't question you. A love that embraces you fully. A love that celebrates your soul, and that love starts with you. Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is survival. When you fill your cup first, when you honor your boundaries, when you know your worth, you no longer tolerate crumbs. You stop begging because you know you are the banquet. Listen, there are 8 billion people on this planet. You don't need to chase anyone. The right people will meet you where you are. They will stay, they will see you, they will value you. But they cannot enter your life if your heart is busy clinging to the wrong ones. Let go, release, walk away. It's not weakness, it's strength. It's saying, I choose me. And when you choose you, truly choose you. The universe listens, opportunities come, people who respect and cherish you arrive. So my message to you today, my friends, don't beg for love, don't beg for respect, don't beg for attention. You're not a beggar in the palace of love. You're royalty. Walk with your head held high, walk with purpose, walk with grace. And when you walk away from the wrong things, you make space for the right things. Life is too short to chase people who don't see your magic. Be brave enough to stand alone until you meet those who will stand with you. Be courageous enough to say, I deserve better. And be wise enough to know you're already enough. I want to thank you all for being here today. It takes courage. Yes, courage. To show up for yourself, to take the time to reflect, to invest in your own growth. And today, I want to talk to you about something very close to my heart. A lesson that took me years to understand. Don't beg for love. Learn to walk away. You know, when I was younger, I thought love was about sacrifice. I thought love was about giving so much of yourself that there was nothing left. I thought love meant holding on no matter how heavy it got. But here's what I've learned. Real love doesn't ask you to lose yourself. Too often we stay in relationships that drain us. We stay because we're afraid. Afraid of starting over. Afraid of what people will say. Afraid that maybe this is the best we'll ever get. But let me tell you something. Fear is not a reason to stay. When you have to beg for someone's time, when you have to chase their attention, when you have to constantly prove your worth, that is not love. That is emotional poverty. Love should nourish you, not deplete you, and yet, so many of us hold on. I've seen it. I've lived it. We tell ourselves, maybe if I just do a little more, maybe if I change myself, they'll love me more. Maybe it's my fault. No, it is not your job to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's idea of love. It is not your job to tolerate disrespect just to keep someone in your life. Your love is a gift. And if someone cannot recognize its value, if someone makes you question your worth, walk away. I remember once in my life, in a relationship, I started losing myself. Piece by piece. I stopped doing the things I loved. I stopped seeing the people who made me happy. I started doubting my talents, my beauty, my intelligence. Why? Because I was constantly trying to please someone who would never be pleased. That's not love. That's control. And the day I walked away, I cried. I was terrified. But do you know what happened next? I found me again. I started dancing again. I started laughing again. I started waking up without a knot in my stomach. And that freedom, that peace, was worth every tear. Listen to me carefully. You're allowed to leave. You're allowed to say, this is not enough for me. You're allowed to choose yourself. That is not selfish. That is survival. Because if you lose yourself for love, what will you have left? You were born worthy. You don't need to perform for love. You don't need to beg for attention. You don't need to convince someone to stay. If they don't see your value, that's their loss. One of the most beautiful things I've learned is this. When you love yourself deeply, you raise your standards. You stop settling for crumbs. You stop making excuses for bad behavior. You stop ignoring red flags. You learn to walk away with your dignity intact. And yes, it takes courage. Walking away is hard, but staying in a relationship where you have to beg is harder. Life is too short to waste on the wrong people. Let me tell you something else. The right people will love you effortlessly. You won't have to perform. You won't have to beg. You won't have to lose yourself. They will see you. They will value you. They will celebrate your light, not dim it. But for that to happen, you must first walk away from what isn't meant for you. So how do you do it? How do you find the strength to walk away? 1. Know your worth. Remind yourself daily, I'm enough. 2. Set boundaries. Say no to disrespect. Say no to emotional games. 3. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Find your tribe, people who remind you of your strength. Practice self-love. Do the things that make your soul happy. Fill your own cup first. 5. Trust the process. Walking away opens space for new blessings. And remember this: every time you choose yourself, you teach the world how to treat you. So, my beautiful friends, don't beg for love. You were not born to beg. You were born to shine. Love should be a dance, not a chase. It should be a safe space and not a battlefield. It should feel like home, not a war zone. And if it doesn't, walk away. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your future. You owe it to the little girl or boy inside of you who once dreamed of a beautiful life. Be brave, because on the other side of walking away is freedom. On the other side is peace. On the other side is love. The kind of love that doesn't ask you to beg. The kind of love that feels like coming home. So today I invite you, choose you, not tomorrow, not next week, now, because you, my friend, are more than enough. And the love you seek, it begins with you.